A dream wrapped a spinning fire. The NFT analyzer, diving deep into projects. He's the crypto energizer. From your meme coins to tokens, he's got all the intel. Web3 is a tree to show you where to excel. He's got the insights like a digital magician, unveiling secrets of the blockchain with precision.
Yeah, to be honest, fellas, I think we're trying to max extract this one. You know what I'm saying? Dude, like awesome start to the year. Meme coins are looking great, and Bitcoin's looking great, and NFTs are actually looking great too. Other than I just saw some kind of breaking news, kind of a bummer of a story from NFTs, but things are looking pretty damn great. And is it a head fake? Is this a bull trap? What's going on here, man? I'm really excited about it. I do think we've got some really fun opportunities out there in the market, and can't wait to dive into it with you guys. Katz, good to see you, buddy. Holy cow. Got another fun year ahead of us, huh? Even AI is getting really, really, really interesting. The virtuals, I said last week, I think, that I don't know if I'm going to cover virtuals daily. I am going to. I'm really, really bullish on the AI sector. There's so much going on. Of course, price action in virtuals kind of like confirms that for me. I think we need to stay locked into virtuals. AI as a whole, right? But virtuals is where it's happening still. No, not pre-recorded. No. No, brother. No, we're live. Dude, let's get it. We got a lot to talk about today. And it's everything. Today's one of those everything days, man. Again, it's meme coins. It's war. It's war. NFTs, all this. I'll talk some of my moves I've made. You guys who watch on the weekend know I made some moves over the past few days. Another one this morning. I do like the AI plays a lot, man. I mean, like you might be being a little facetious, dude. I do. I like it right now. I like it. All right, let's go. By the way, subscribe over here. It's Crypto Slam over on YouTube. Real quick, kind of a bummer. Oh, no, I didn't see the Predict Base. E-Rock, good morning, man. Good to see you. What's the Predict Base announcement? I didn't see it. But like we'll get to some NFTs. I think NFTs are in a really interesting spot. I'll check Predict Base in a minute here, cats. NFTs I mean, dude, there's nobody bullish on NFTs anymore. Nobody. Well, I'll say this: the believers, and there's very few of them. Oh wow, good stuff. All right, love that. That's cool. All right, we'll look at Predict Base. We'll get to the virtual stuff for sure. That's awesome news. But look, okay, so I made some moves this weekend. Was letting some people know. Of course, you share your like victories, right? And I like the reply back was like, don't do NFTs. That's like an old meta. He's like, there's nobody left. There's no collectors. Like nobody wants NFTs, and he's not wrong. Like he's not wrong at all. But look, man, I'm looking to get into things literally at that point when nobody believes in them, because I still do. I'll never not believe in them. I know collectibles. I've known collectibles my whole life. I know them. I understand how this works. I understand what it looks like when prices are down, your faith, convictions shaken, broken, whatever. I know what that looks like, and I know what happens on the other side of that too. I have no doubt about NFTs. I might question a lot of them and how high they can go, but I have no doubt they have some life in them. I have no doubt we're seeing some forever collectibles being born here. And I have no doubt that when the market gets good and people get greedy, what can happen there? So I'll continue to bet on NFTs. But what got me excited is just hearing how done people are with them. That's what starts getting me thinking it can get silly. It can get extreme, because those are the people that come back maybe first. I'm excited for the NFT stuff, although these stories kind of bum me out. Again, breaking just this morning, an hour ago, NFT Paris and RWA Paris 2026 canceled. This speaks to the market, right? I get it. I get it. It's hard to put on a. By the way, NFT Paris I think was just not good last year too, but it is a different market. I think all you're left with here are believers. I think so. I'm going to mention things I think that are the best buys out there right now. And for anybody who doesn't know, I sold my GVC hoodie this weekend, and E-Rock's the new owner of it, which is awesome. I'm glad he's got it. That was fun. That was cool. And that's the question, right? The 1% that can make it, the ones that can reach the normies, or it's like it's that happens, or we just get this culture like becomes self-sustaining. And I think all that's left when I look at a lot of these collections are the believers. It's the people who aren't going away. And I'm keeping that in mind when I'm buying NFTs. What are the collections that are, and you'll see this theme across what I'm buying, the collections that are at their bottom, and there's some of the most hardcore communities, and there's very few listed, and there's a sweet spot for NFTs right now. Puppets are one of those collections I like a lot. Yeah, dude, that was a fun deal, and like E-Rock, thanks to you, man. I've got some fun trades I've made, and I'm feeling good about how I'm set up if this market does what I'm hoping it does. All right, we'll dive into this. We'll start now, but we do this every day, Monday through Friday. So just make sure you're following along. Again, subscribe on CryptoSlam. Follow us at CryptoSlam.io over on X. Of course, Slam Nation X also on X. If you're building the space, man. Yeah, E-Rock, it's perfect win. It's like, it's a perfect win-win. It couldn't have been better. But if you're building dashboards and agents and apps and whatever, and you need the best data in the industry to power you, you do. So tap into our Crypto Slam data. I also want to bring you on the show. So connect with us at Slam Nation X. I'll get you on the show. I want to show what you're building, but we'll give you credits to access to tap into our API. You need custom endpoints. We got you. I would say more importantly now, as important, whatever, but make sure you're following EthosSwarm over on X. And you see it down at the bottom here, but go to ethoswarm.ai, sign up for the wait list. This is coming very, very, very soon. And I'm in love with this thing. And I'll just say what I've been saying for the past few days. I'm blown away, and I can't wait to talk AI today. I'm blown away by the leap AI just took. And that's Gemini and that's Claude. And I think everybody's starting to wake up that AI just made a big leap. A big leap. I cannot believe what AI is capable of now. And now I start thinking that prediction I have for 5 years out when AI changes the landscape of everything. I'm not sure if that's been accelerated, but if it could be. I'm at the point now where I'm like, it could be because of what's happening right now. I'm shocked by what I've gotten my hands on. And I think other people are starting to realize it too. I'll stick with, I think, 4 years off, whatever, things get silly, but it could happen a lot faster because of how fast everything's growing. Can't wait. Onto the market. We're not going to talk about the Venezuela stuff much. Actually, I think we are going to talk a little bit, but a little X factor here, a little thing that I hadn't thought about or considered, but Venezuela, right? We arrested their president. It's crazy stuff, man. And we're taking their oil. Geez, man. Hey, the Shirley coin is on my very short list of things. It's on my very short list of things that I'm. Yeah, it's on my really short list of things that I am watching really closely. It's in my range where I want to buy it. I think there's some easy plays out there, and everything is risk reward, right? What's the best risk reward? I think I've pretty much picked out for me what's the best risk reward. I don't think has much downside, but the upside is silly. I think these will be some top performers. Maybe the Nick Shirley coin's on that list. But anyway, we got a strategic Bitcoin reserve we need to, fund, or we need to acquire Bitcoin somehow, some way. Venezuela's got $60 billion worth of Bitcoin. Is that something we're maybe going to say that's ours too now? It could be. I'm telling you, cats. I'm telling you, dude. Something really wild's happening in AI right now, and it's like right below the surface. But people are like, "You're digging in." It's becoming, man. It's getting real interesting, real fast. Attaboy, Luna. I had no doubt you'd be right there. Eliza OS really spiked, dude. There's just really great stuff here. Yep. It's gonna get guys. This year's setting up to be. Look, we'll find out. Cycle over, like bull market over 4 year cycle intact or not. And do we get this incredible incredible, like, decade of growth. I still don't know, but like things are lining up in a really interesting way. All right, quickly looking at prices here. Bitcoin 92.7, beautiful. We touched 93, I believe. ETH at 3,100, Ripple 212, BNB 901, love that. And Solana 133, just a wicked week. Look at this, great stuff. 6% Bitcoin's up, 13% for Ripple. What's Solana? 8.5%. I saw you clowning on a guy who sold his lighter right now, 2.7 mil or so. Lighter's looking great. There's a lot of great plays everywhere, and of course, when we're in up only mode, everything's up only right now, and we'll see how long it lasts. The Venezuela thing, look, it's super concerning. That wasn't a one and done deal, right? That wasn't a one and done deal. That has the potential to spiral into a much bigger thing. You guys know, obviously. I'm talking to my son a lot about this stuff too, because he thinks it's awesome. And like, I get where somebody, especially somebody younger, thinks it's awesome. He likes that Trump says a thing and he does the thing. I get how you can like that, respect it. This has a chance to really snowball into something much bigger and not great. We'll see. But now, this is now a big old X factor we have to consider when we're thinking about this market, right? What can hurt us? That's one of those things. Anyway, quickly looking at ETF volume from Friday, Bitcoin. We have 471 million inflows over on ETH. 174 million inflows. And then Solana, I imagine we got inflows here as well. Let's see. Usually Solana's opposite of the other two big boys. Let's see. No, 9.7 million inflows. Good stuff. Real good. Mike, I didn't realize you had lit. Yeah, I like that. Again, market looking great right now. Market cap rose to what? We're at 3.12 trillion, up 5%. I mean, it's looking pretty damn awesome. We're in basically at the top of our range here, and this is that level we really need to stay at or above, right? We've seen this level, 92, 93. We need to hold this. If we fall back into the upper 80s, it's back to, bearish talk, bearish times maybe. I'll say this, I'm pretty optimistic, at least about the next few weeks. I bet most of us are on the same page that we're going to go touch probably around 100 soon. Like soon. Few weeks. I believe, boys. I do. And look, comments like this get me excited. They also put me on guard a little bit. OSF saying feels like we're one strong equity open away from full risk on in crypto. Yes. And I saw tweets out there. Repo doing great, dude. And so is Reply. Reply hit an all-time high. There's some really great stuff. I mean, Repo all-time high. There's a lot of all-time highs in virtuals. Dude, there's just great stuff everywhere. If you were in these things, position ahead of this move, GG's. Now is an interesting time to start getting into some of these too. Let's see how hot things can get. We have a new Fed chair that's going to get announced this month. There's a lot of interesting stuff coming. But, right, I like this. I agree, of course. And also, like, on alert, right? I remember last year, I remember a few times some of the big, smart guys, by the way, but, bigger personalities on crypto Twitter saying, this is the weekend you lock in. You don't step away, right? This is where you hit stuff hard. And it didn't play out. And people probably lost a lot of money over the past year trying to grind, and there wasn't much upside. Is it different because it's a new year here? Maybe. But I don't disagree with OSF, and I like OSF's take. And OSF is a pretty damn reasonable guy, although pretty bullish guy too. I'm with him. But what's the play, man? Is it meme coins? Is it the content coins, which are kind of one and the same? Is it AI coins? Is it majors? Is it alts? Is it NFTs? In a way, man, it's kind of all the above, isn't it? If the market does what it has the potential to do, it's all the above. We have all this capital that left the market. And if it sniffs the opportunity here, it's right back. It's right back. And like, I mean, let's be honest. We're we're in uncharted territory, right? Trump announced this morning we've taken in over $600 billion in tariffs. We just took over, and we'll get to this in a moment too, By the way, link to the Extreme in the chat here. Throw a little love on that. But all this tariffs are going to be ruled illegal, right? They are. But all the tariff money we've made, plus now all these oil reserves we're sitting on and an infrastructure we're going to rebuild out in Venezuela, that's the word right now. We'll see. It changes a lot, man. It changes everything. It changes what our national debt looks like entirely. It changes a lot. It's wild stuff. That Nick Shirley coin, though, let's start even here with what I'm looking at, what I'm watching very closely, what I think is a big opportunity. That Shirley coin, right? Ansem tweet on Friday sent this thing to an all-time high, 12 mil. I think it actually touched 14. I think it touched 13 or 14. I know it touched 13, 14 maybe, down to 4 mil right now. I think this touched the upper 3, 8. And I said before, if this gets to 3 to 5, I think that's a really interesting play because now I believe you have Ansem as a holder. You have a guy like Thread Guy who lost a lot of money on this thing, but who's going to talk about this. Everybody's watching the Nick Shirley coin. You have Brian Armstrong and Jesse from Base, who you better believe are going to take a victory lap if this works. And maybe we get, some promo from them behind this coin. This is their best chance at success on the Base app. They maybe push this thing. I'll roll the dice on a maybe that's got the kind of upside that this has. A meme coin that we're used to seeing memes at 50, 100 mil, like for big meme coins. Base needs a big meme coin for their community to rally behind. Although this one's so controversial, you probably have half of the community that wouldn't touch it because it's Nick Shirley. But it's interesting, boys. It's really the upside on this. I mean, come on. 40 mil market cap for a meme coin is nothing. You're telling me the downside risk on this is what? Falls back to 2 mil or something, but the upside is a 40 mil should be easy. So you're telling me there's a kind of easy 10x in this. And we know how silly this can get. We know meme coins. We can start talking hundreds of millions. Look, I don't know if a creator coin can do that or not, but I'm saying it's so new. I don't know. When I start thinking risk reward, not a lot of downside on this. Of course, you can go to zero on anything, right? You could absolutely go to zero on this. But the upside that's here is 10x, 20x, 30x. That's possible with a thing like this. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm saying that's possible. And it's more likely than a lot of other things I see. An NFT like you buy at 1 ETH. You're not getting a 10x on that. You're not. None of those NFTs are going to 10x. Like a Pudgy Penguin's not going to 10x. You're not going from 5 to 50 ETH. But this thing at 10x takes it just to 40 mil. The upside's ridiculous on this one. Firmly have this in my list of things I'm watching and should buy, probably will buy. Ridiculous, this one. Anything under 10's where the risk reward gets a little different, but at 4 mil, at 5 mil, I'm game on with this one. I want a big old bag of that. I do. Maybe lock that in today even too. We'll see. Ansem will be tweeting about that again. Nick Shirley's got another video. He said it's going to be his masterpiece. He's got more viral videos in him. I think a bunch. It's a legit coin. It's a legit play. On the NFT side, this is a great indicator, great sign. People that are starting, new year, go buy your grail. Great looking cowboy punk sold for over $500,000. So some guys are seeing opportunities there in NFTs, especially on the grail collections. Great sign. Let's look at NFT volume real quick because I'm going to talk NFTs, some of the moves I made. Then we'll hit AI. But get a feel for where we're at in the market. And just down bad. Down bad, yes. But up last week a bit, 78 mil in cross-chain sales. Sellers fell. Buyers down 2, yes. Transactions down. Average sale price what? Actually up quite a bit. It's Grail's moving, right? $119. Average sale price. Trade profits. Holy cow, dude. One of our worst weeks. Man, I'll say this. That's probably one of our worst weeks for profits in a year. That's up there, dude. That's really up there. If you didn't catch it, guys, 19 mil in the negative. We had a week, I don't know what, so almost a year ago, we had 25 mil in the negative. But that's probably our second worst week in a year. 19 mil in the negative for profits. Brutal. But what is that? That's not loss. Well, that's some loss harvesting because that's part of 25. So that's some loss harvesting. What that also is people getting liquid to go make other plays. Like I said, in NFTs, your 10x's are not going to happen very easily. But you go get liquid to go make that 10x in an AI token or a meme coin or something. That's what people are probably doing here. And it makes sense. But man, when I look at floor prices too, Benny, good morning, man. Good to see you. I look at floor prices and it's starting to look spicy. Again, new year, take on some new risks. There is upside in all this. Pudgies have upside at 5 ETH. Yeah. Do they get to 10? Actually, they could. I can definitely see Pudgies at 10. I'm not going to make that bet myself, but I could see them at 10. I don't see them back at 20 or 25. Well, again, if things get really silly, they could, but I wouldn't make that bet. For me, I wouldn't make that bet. But Pudgy's back at 5. Bored Apes at 5.4. Looks good. Moonbird's good. Everything looking solid. I mean, it's green literally down the list. And again, I'm making some plays. Sold my GVC. Sold a Pindarvin Armin piece. Sold a couple things. Sold 3 things. Right? Sold a Max Payne. Hang on, let's see this. Last reply on Nick Shirley. If Pepe, Whiff, Popcat, Bowden, Goat, Turbo, blah, blah, blah. Yep, went to billions. I'm not, Jay-Wise, so I'm with you, but I'm not fully with you. I just think meme coins are different. Here's the thing. With Nick Shirley, Pepe's universal. If you're on the right, and this is getting political, if you're on the right or left, you still like Pepe. Nick Shirley's got a problem. It's got 2 problems. 1, it's on base. 2, it's super political. So nobody on the left is buying a Nick Shirley coin. You've already cut out like half your potential buyers. Potentially, right? Like Nick, I don't think Nick Shirley's got those kind of highs, but I think Nick Shirley can be $100 million coin. Every year. Erock, every year NFTs start out pretty like hypey. Every single year. What's different is we just went through wicked price discovery. We just went through a year where nobody, like we lost belief in NFTs, even from believers. You know what I mean? Like NFTs, all you have left is people who believe. We're at that point where like at some point they stop falling, right? There's nobody left to sell. We're pretty much there. Not to say they don't have downside, they do, but we're pretty much there. That's why I see some upside on these things, on some of these collections, but we're pretty much at the point where the only people selling. I like it, Jay-Wise. You keep doing that part because we need that too. Yeah, I believe we're pretty close to the bottom for NFTs. And by the way, over the long run, yes, they still bleed out, right? Like I've made my thoughts pretty clear on how things are valued. I still think the top tier NFTs are like, you know, a couple grand for them, but 30 and 50,000 and whatever. No, well, maybe if the whole thing breaks the way I think it's gonna. But anyway, I see value in a lot of these right now. I do. So why don't I tell you guys what it is I'm looking at on the NFT side? I think we get our dump, Luna. I do. I bought 2 NFTs this morning. Bought one over the weekend. Okay, so I bought the X copy and I sold the X copy. Wrestled with that for a good minute, right? So bought the X copy, Cage Zero. I don't like selling art because it makes me feel bad. I don't know why. And I don't like especially selling a good, rare X copy like that. But I had an idea, right? The thought was, man, you don't often, and I think, by the way, I'm going to show, I think, one of the most undervalued pieces out there, collections. You don't often get the chance to have a Beeple in your collection. He's got a couple editions out there. He's got some everydays where there's 100 editions of them, right? So he's got that. And he also has like the V Friends. Luke put this back on my radar. So thank you, Luke, for that. But he also has a V Friends edition. It's like 1,000 editions, maybe 1,100. Priced at like 0.2, but his everyday editions, those 100 edition pieces, those have a 6 ETH floor. His 1/1s are a whole different story, right? His 1/1s are like a 20 plus ETH floor. We had the regular animals thing that took place in Art Basel, Miami, just in December. Remember those cool ass robots that snap pictures and they process those pictures through like an AI brain and they spit out these images. You got Warhol, Picasso, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, and then a Beeple version 2. 256 1/1s. These are Beeple 1/1s that right now have a 6.5 ETH floor. I saw that, thought to myself, I love Beeple. I love him. Like, he's incredible. Never considered I could own a Beeple, let alone a Beeple 1/1, but never considered I could own a Beeple. until that X copy hit. This is one of those risk reward things where I'm rolling the dice. I don't see a lot of downside on this. I see tremendous upside on a Beeple 1-1 collection. Especially, by the way, when I know Beeple's going to be tweeting about these soon when he starts doing his contest. He's got 10 of these he's going to give out for free online. You better believe there's going to be some hype around that. You better believe there's going to be hype around that. Taking a little, educated risk here. Bought one of these for 5 ETH. Is there downside? Sure. I could see them maybe in a bear market going to like 3 ETH for a 1-1 Beeple. Maybe. The flip side of it is I could see those going to 10 ETH, 15 ETH. I can see if things get pretty hot and spicy, 20 ETH. That's what I see for the Beeple collection, regular animals. I think they've got a ton of upside. I don't think they have much downside. For me, a good store of value. Interesting collection. Now, I got mine listed because I actually would love to flip into one I like a lot more. I threw an offer at the collection. It hit. I like what I got, by the way, but let's see if I can get one that I love. But just like Nick Shirley Coin left. Yes. And by the way, it's a great shout, even though Beeple's very lefty. Like, Beeple's very left. But the interesting thing with Beeple, he's not only hated by like them, yes, and the art world hates him. That's why I like this, by the way. Right? I was chatting with Jared. Remember, he used to come on the show on Fridays. We talk, Thursdays, we talk art. He knows, like, he's very dialed into art. And he feels the exact same that I do, that this is actually a very underrated collection and a very special collection. I think he said he thinks it's like the cornerstone of Beeple's catalog. And I'm like, that's fascinating. And I kind of am with him. I think this collection is way underrated. Big gamble. It's a big gamble. It's a big one that I'm comfortable with. I know the art space very well. And I know NFT. I just got my finger on the pulse of this stuff. I don't think there's a ton of downside. There's risk, but the upside's there for something like that. But here's the thing. The traditional art world hates him. And I will buy hate. I'll buy hate. Traditional art world hates him. I was chatting with another friend who is very, very plugged into the traditional art world and said the same thing. He's like, those artists hate people. They hate X copy. They hate NFTs. Good, because this is a threat to them. And so, like, you remember that piece of art? Jared, remind me of this. That piece of art that was the banana duct taped to a wall that sold for $3 million. It sold for $3 million because people hated on it so much. Right? People hated it, and it drove the price up. This is a hated collection. And I bet even amongst Beeple collectors, it's probably not the same. It's different. It's like AI created it. Like, when it clicks, when these things click for people is where you get that hate turns into something else. It kind of, like, that energy is still stored there, but it can turn into more, like, it doesn't turn to indifference. It kind of turns into love. Anyway, special collection. I believe special collection. So that's one of the moves I made this weekend. The other thing is, again, looking for lower risk. I'm looking for not necessarily high reward, but I'm looking for like easy reward, like easy upside. So yeah, I'm looking for the collections that are already at their bottom that have a fanatical collector base. Throw out what checks those boxes for you. What's here in NFTs, and we'll say on ETH especially right now, fanatical user base or holder base. And also probably at its low price. And there's two of them. NFTs on Monad I need to do. I need to. Milady's one, dude. Luna, I almost bought a Milady this morning. Almost did it. Milady was basically top of the list for me. I didn't want to spend like 1.1. Quirky's, Chimpers, GVC. I went down all those 2 E-Rock and I'm like, yep. I think they all check the box. There's a couple that check the box for me in a different way, right? Especially consider meme coins. So I'm thinking meme coins in my head. If the market gets hot, Bitcoin's cooking, meme coins cooking. What are the NFTs that are very connected to meme coins? Project Eon, right? Marad, a freaking army of traders who shill the timeline. Everybody talks about Marad. Now, I did this because I know the collection well. I've had one before. I felt what the action is like in this collection. I felt what the upside is. If SPX cooks again, I believe it will. The NFT kind of follows. Again, I'm not looking for huge returns, huge rewards. I'm just looking for easier rewards. Project Eon sitting at 0.4 are basically at their bottom. They're basically at their bottom. If SPX gets hot, I see these back to, I don't know, 0.8, 1 ETH. I could see 1.5. I'm looking for stuff that I think has got some upside, and maybe it could be big, whatever, but I think it's easy. I think that Project Eons have actually really easy upside. Really easy upside. Locked one in at 0.38 this morning. I expect to double that. If we get a 3x, 4x, what could happen, whatever. I think there's not much downside on these. They're basically at their bottom for price. And if the meme coin cooks, these do well. Those are the kind of plays I'm looking for. I want things that already have a community baked in. And by the way, not a lot listed. 2% listed. 2% listed. Maverick, good to see you, man. I love the NFT talk. It's my favorite. Again, when people tell me don't do NFTs, I'm like, I get that probably for most people, but I have a very good feel for them. And it served me well. It has. I've probably made my most money on NFTs. I mean, not even probably. It's by a mile. I know it will. A lot of you guys do too. So again, Project Eon. A Little Pudgy is probably, yeah, honestly, Little Pudgy Little Pudgy fits every bit as much as Project Eon does in the next one I say, as I don't think it's got a lot of downside. Yeah, Milady's at 1.18, I think, as of this morning. Yeah, I was very tempted. Very tempted. That was the first thing when I just decided to go look at the couple others I had in mind and I saw where they were at price-wise. I did the others. But a Milady checks the box too. Little Pudgies do too. They really do. I don't think it's hard for them to get to back to 1.5, whatever. I like Little Pudgies. For me, the Project Eon has less downside. I don't want to say less. I think it's probably even at that point. But it was cheaper, so there's that. All right, the other one I did this morning, and again, same thesis. Already at its bottom, fanatical base. It's got a hot meme coin, like one of the top meme coins, I think. And that would be, hang on, let's get to it. Something I've always wanted to own. And I just realized that they hadn't pumped like the rest of the market. I'm like, okay, it's the right spot. It's the right time. And that would be, hang on, I want to find it. I just want to find it. Damn, I might just have to pull it up. Manual. Would have thought they're higher on the list, though. Hang on. I don't even know where they rank, huh? There we go. Wrecked guy. Luna, so I would say because Milady's 2x'd recently, so they're not at their bottom where Project Eon are at their bottom, right? They're at their bottom. They haven't been this low. And the same with Wrecked Guy. Same exact thing. They have a killer meme coin that's sitting at, I think, like 125 mil market cap. That coin has hit 550 mil. It's got a ton of upside if things get crazy. The X Game partnership's coming up. 111 listed, right? It's like 1 or 2% listed. Same thing. And price-wise, they're also at their bottom. Oh, I got you. Little Pudgy versus Eon. Because the Eon can get that crazy memeable hype. You know what I mean? As opposed to like Pudgies that I don't think there's a big difference, by the way. I think I would have been happy with either. But Project Eon's got a little of that energy. They just got that little like super degen energy that littles don't have for me. But yeah, Wrecked Guy, always wanted it. Love OSF. Really wanted to support. So I was thinking of buying the Wrecked coin. I'm like, let me give a peek at the NFT again. Sitting at 0.23, 0.24. Again, its price is at its bottom. This is about as low as they've been. With so few listed, fanatical base of users, very ETH cabal, all those things. Again, I don't think there's a huge home run here, but a pretty easy 2 or 3x with, I don't see much downside because they're at their bottom. If the market picks up, if NFTs get hot, whatever. And this one, again, if the meme coin gets hot, usually these benefit from it too. Then I see that really, really easy-ish reward. And I don't see a ton of downside. I don't see a ton of risk on this. 0.23 I got it for, right? So those are the two I got, and I think I'm still looking, and I'm looking for like that. I'm looking that price range. I actually was considering just getting a few, right? You want one NFT, Luna? I think Project Eon checks the box most for you. Well, I don't want to say most for you. I just think that it's got that. It's so degen. And by the way, I don't think we're getting an abstract airdrop at all. I don't. I think it's a pre-sale. So there's the three I'm riding with now over since the weekend: a Beeple, a Wrecked Guy, and a Project Eon. And I'm looking, but I think I want to be much safer. I used to just take what I'd win and right back in and re-roll. And I'm like, no, you keep like 80, 70% of it aside and you play with some and the rest you need to just lock in. Cause I don't trust that we're back. I don't. So I want to be really, really safe. I'm going to be really safe preserving what I got right now. But if there's one NFT, I think XP for abstract is for pre-sale access. That's what I think. I didn't even know they were doing a pre-sale. And then Luca said that last month in an interview. So I think it's going to be the higher your tier, like the more allocation you can get. That's what I think it's going to be. Smokey, I think the best NFT to get will always be an NFT with an active community that you can search alpha with and build. Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. I like that. Yep. There's so many things. It's pretty great. But yeah, I think it's going to be an abstract pre-sale. And I actually like it a lot. I do. But if you're going for one, again, there's some you can't go wrong with. I do think Lil Pudgy's is great for that. I think Milady's is great. Again, they just 2x'd recently, but also I think Milady is kind of in a league of its own. So I think GVC is great too. I do. Gary V just bought one. You got a lot of big names in the community buying GVCs. I guess I worry with GVC that they've got like 600 NFTs still owned by the strategy, thing. But I do want back in GVC. I do. I really, really do. I've been looking through them. And I don't think they have a ton of downside either. They just have such a fanatical like base. But yeah, all the ones that E-Rock mentioned are great. Quirkies, GVC. What was the other chimpers? I think they're all great. I actually think, yeah, Quirkies I like a lot. But I just think Rect is going to really ramp up those partnerships. I think Rect is going to catch the news too. I do. Because this year, and I think this is coming in the next month or two, you buy a drink in the store. This is wild. You buy a drink in the store, it prints you out a coupon, scan it, you claim Rec token. I think that's really interesting. Everyone's going to be talking about it. I think so. They don't let you. E-Rock, what happened, dude? I'm telling you, dude, I hate to say this because I don't want to be funny because you guys know more than anybody. I love GVC. But if I didn't feel like I feel like all they do is protect the whales, and the whales are who get the engagement from those guys. I'm just being straight up. I did not feel the vibes as much as I supported. I didn't feel anything. In fact, I felt like the opposite. I kind of felt like really ignored in there. Again, I don't care. But also it made me like, I notice things. That's all I notice. And they're all good guys too, by the way. Nothing malicious, nothing like about, I don't know. But I did not, I wasn't vibing with them anymore. It's a bummer because I love them. Which NFT community do you think are the best traders? I'm definitely going to put CyberKongs up there, and they might be top. Like people like they had that reputation before. People don't know in there right now. Like they've got some killers there. It's a E-Rock. Great point. Totally fair point. Yeah, dude. No, you're right, dude. I left because of that. And I like the guys individually. I know some of them, right? But like all they do is celebrate the whales. That's it. And you got to because they're such big money, but it was a turnoff to me. Yeah, that's a bummer. Yeah, I don't like that part about GVC. It's very, man, I don't even know what to call it. It's not as good vibes as they say, in a way. And again, they're great, but I felt that, and it made it easier for me to part with those things. But yeah, I think, look, I'll put rec guys in there too because OSF I think is great. I think they've got good traders there. I don't know most of the others too. I just don't. I just know CyberKongs are elite, and they get all the whitelists and stuff. I know CyberKongs are great. Ooh, dude, that's a great one. That's a great shout. Funny enough, the physicals last I saw were priced higher than the NFT. I know a lot of people collecting physicals now, which is really interesting. It's such a bummer because they don't see it. I guarantee GVC, the team and the community doesn't feel it. They don't see it at all. But I'm telling you, it's It's weird. I didn't get again, this sounds stupid. I don't need this. I don't care, but I notice things. I've been in that community for what, 8, 9 months? Big sale. NFTs I bought very early. No, not a peep from anybody on the team. Nothing. And not even the team, but like mods, not a peep from anybody. No GGs, whatever. Like crickets, nothing, not a peep. Don't need it, don't care, but I noticed those things. I was expecting nothing because that's what I've noticed. I'm not doing anything on Solana. I wish I were, because I do think Solana's got its time in the spotlight again. Also, I'm going to say this too. Big old X factor. Risk reward. I can't get a feel with this, but I think these are interesting. The Sam Spratt Masks of Lucy. That might be the perfect word. I think a lot of what's in GVC is not super sincere. And I don't think they know that it's not, but it's definitely celebrate the big buys, celebrate the whales, but that's it. That's it. That's all that happens. Again, I like them though. Like good people, individually, good people. And I don't think they can all the things that I think they should do. I don't think they can. They don't have enough manpower or whatever. But again, I notice it. These are interesting because I think Sam Spratt is working on whatever's his next thing, right? And every time he does a new 1-1, the way he's been doing it now is the additions that are below it, it grows and grows and grows. So basically, here's what I think happens. Whatever's the next 1-1, he'll extend that game out from, I think it was 256. No, I'm sorry, 600 last time. I think it doubles next time around to like what? 1,200 or 1,500. But if you have this, I think you get a mint for whatever his next thing is. And you might get a couple, maybe one to give away or sell or something like that. So I think these are interesting. I'm watching them. I'm not going to buy, but I think those are interesting. Solana, oh man, I wouldn't bet against it, but I don't think so, cutie. The only one I'd bet hits an all-time high this year, and I'm not even like confident, but it's Bitcoin. I'm not super confident on anything else hitting all-time high. I'm just not. And it could happen, and I hope it does for sure. So there's the plays. There's the NFT plays. They're risky, but I think lower risk. If the market's hot, they'll go up. It just, to me, felt easy-ish. And maybe they bleed out and I'm wrong, and we'll find out. We'll find out. But I think there's plays out there. I mean, we know there are. We know. Good stuff. But again, meme coins. Luna, yeah, I think deep down I do. And it only happens. Here's what sucks. I couldn't point to a chart and tell you technically here's why, because it's not that. It's more like, can we get news there? Luna, yeah, like I was betting on, well, I'll say even predict base. I was making bets about Bitcoin, certain prices, by the end of last year. Didn't get it right. But I'm not betting on technical stuff, right? I'm betting on stuff that we're not planning on, almost like the Venezuela thing, but something opposite of that, something like giga bullish, right? I just feel like there's going to be some fuckery this year. That's kind of it. So I'd bet on it more as just a fun gamble for myself. But yes, a lot of meme coins looking interesting. A white swan, dude. Yeah, dude. I like that. A white swan event. Yeah. That's what I think. Again, new Fed chair, I think makes things pretty interesting. I just think there's other things coming. If we get any kind of word about strategic Bitcoin reserve, if again, all the things we talked about a lot last year, retirement money coming into Bitcoin, there's things that can happen that can move the market more than we've seen in the past, right? So I would make that bet. That's not a great risk reward, but that's a gamble I would take. And that gamble, I should do it just buy Bitcoin, right? That's how I should bet that. But yeah, Solana memes looking great. So right, I'm playing the NFT side of it. I do want to buy some REC token. I really want to buy the Nick Shirley coin. There's plenty there. There's a lot of plays. White Whale hit, what, 75 or 76 mil? This is going to 100. White Whale's going to 100. Cosmos. Good to see you, man. It could be. We'll find out. That's my bet. My bet is that that's the case. Again, you won't see it in charts. You don't see it right now. There's nothing technical that tells us that's the case, but it's the stories, right? I'm like, these stories are very different. The money that maybe should be coming in, different. Yeah. White Whale is one of those crazy stories. It is. And that's one of those ones, unlike the Nick Shirley coin, appeals to everybody. Just cool. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like, it's got to be a different, fresher kind of meme coin. And, like Thread Guy's putting out like this market's primed. We just need a new meta. And I feel like that might apply to even meme coins. There just has to be something fresh to it. We don't need it, by the way. This casino will casino if the market gets hot, but we are primed for a new meta. Hope something hits. It could be an AI. It could be in. I still think it's an equity kind of play, or I'm hoping that's definitely a hope thing. But we're primed for something. Hope we get it. But I want to see ownership. Anyway, quickly looking at the meme coins. Just looking at market caps or motion here the past week. I mean, crazy. There's PEPE as of right now up 63% in the past 7 days. Again, it touched like 70%, 75%. Crazy. But Pump is up 23%. Trump coin up 10 and fine. Bonk's up 48%. The Bonk one's interesting, right? I think I've got I have a post to share too about the USD1 token, the World Liberty Finance stable coin, paired with I think there's pairs with most of the Bonk coins or some of them, but there's a partnership there with the Bonk ecosystem. So I'm watching that for sure. I mean, I still got my bet on Cappy, and I kind of want to buy more Cappy. Pengu's up 36%. There's SPX up 24%. With 30 again, just memes almost across the board. Pippin down 18, but Pippin actually is still pretty damn spicy. Look at Rabita up 32%. Just a lot of good. There's a lot of green over on that side. A lot of green over in memes. Wrecked up 33%. Yeah. So let's see. Again, if Bitcoin doesn't continue to do what it's doing now, it's game over for all this stuff. But we pray. We'll see. And let's see. Let me check that, Luna. And I want you to keep in mind, and this is mostly for me too, but for all of us, keep this in mind. Because I don't doubt this either. This is like the Luna thesis too, at least from last year. Short every pump. And I see a lot of guys saying that. I see Keyboard Monkey saying that. Although Keyboard Monkey's long at this point, but this is back from October. Every pump in the next 30 to 90 days is here to trap you. You're the exit liquidity. Sell every pump or short every pump right. Keep that in mind. I'm still in max preservation mode, but it is the first time I'm actually buying stuff. All right, hang on. All right. All right. I think this is Luna's thesis too. Oh, wait, maybe not. Hang on. I like it. Wait. Okay, I read it wrong. I got it now. Okay. So there's the fuck around and find out coin. This dude all in on it. It's a ballsy play. I wouldn't be doing that now, although there's risk reward. Risk is going to zero. Reward is if we get hot, dude might have generational wealth incoming. I'm not making that kind of bet right now. Nope. Because I know if things get great, easy mode's here. I'll make money elsewhere. If I lose it all now, I don't get to play easy mode. I'm never going to do that to myself. Not happening. But yeah, this is the time to start making some make some bets, but try to make the safest bets you can. And there's plays out there. Oh no, dude. Hang on. Let's look at it. I saw that, by the way. I saw that token at what, like 3 or 5 mil. And I was thinking about it. I'm like, should I? I'm like, nope, don't trust any of this right now. None of it. I don't trust any of it. I'm assuming this is it. Yeah. I don't trust any meme coin right now, other than Cappy a little bit, but for different reasons. Like I trust that team. And I think the cutesy little thing is strong, and it being a bonk coin strong. I trust Cappy. But it's very risky. Cappy can go back to, 100K. It's only at 400 now. But there for me is a fun risk reward. Yeah. Yeah, I don't trust this one at all. I'm not playing any memes really. Now, for the most part. But yeah, that. Okay, now here's where things get interesting. What's up, Dad? Where it gets really, really, really interesting to me is still my thesis. It's this year when I talk about Bitcoin all-time high, it's just the gut feel that things are broken, something's going to happen, a white swan event. White swan event is my thesis for the next 5 years, 10 years. Oh, the real one's at 450K. Damn. All right. Yeah. Well, then. Oh, man. Here, let's show Cappy. I'll tell you why I like Cappy too. And I just want to be really, really clear. I don't want anybody to buy it. But I'll say it's a bonk coin that the bonk, what's the dude's name? Unipix or whatever. The bonk, the bonk ecosystem team have it on their radar for sure. I just know the guy who launched it, like friends with him. He's a great guy. And he just locked up all his coins. I just know a lot about this one. That's like all public, but also, again, I know it. So I'm going to make this bet because they're not dumping on anybody. Like, just not going to happen. Yeah, not an amazing chart. Hang on. Let's go. I like hourly. But this is one of those ones. There it is. Yeah, thank you. Unipix bonk guy. This is the one where I'm like, I know who's looking at this, right? I know the potential. Like, I know what those catalysts are for this to like explode, which is like, right, the Unipix guy buying a bag. And I actually think he has a bag, but tweeting about it. And for the first time, I want to say like within the past 3 or 4 weeks, he made a comment or a tweet somewhere that was hinting at Cappy. So I'm like, again, I for me, it's a good risk reward thing. And then I know behind the scenes talking to like Moon Pay and things like that. And it's all things like, yeah, just be patient, guys. So it's got those things. And that is exactly the potential. There hasn't been the Cappy coin, right? And their angle is to be that. So, and they've had some viral stuff too. But the biggest thing is knowing the guy who launched it. And he's a really good dude, like a really, really, really good dude. But yeah, this is what's interesting. Something changed where they got very viral, probably like 2 months ago, and they maintained it. Very viral stuff. So yeah, in fact, I wish I had a much bigger bag. I do. Super degen, super gambling, but I like I like this one's got big upside. I think it does. So for me, it's one of my bets. Would like a lot more. Okay. The guy who launched it here, let's put it up here. Guy who's in a private group of mine with like 5 people, right? 6 people, whatever. So been and known him for years. He made his, like, he did very well on memes, by the way. He made his fortune on Mudang, right? He's one of those success stories, goes from working a job to not working anymore, 7 figures, he made his bags on Whiff and Mudang and did very well. Very, very well. So this is the man behind the Cappy coin. Yeah, it's great. But like, where there's just like good dudes, like that's him. Good guy. And he's got all the Whiff whales that are his, like the Whiff and the Mudang whales that's his circle. Those are his guys. So he's got big money around him, and a lot of those guys have some bags are sitting on him. Probably some of them dumped it as we were dying last year, but he's got a good circle. Look at that. Dude, amazing. Yeah, he was in both of those very low. He did very well. Again, he's out of our whole group, he was like the big success story. So it is cool. All right. So back to the White Swan event. My hope. So for 4 years out and for this year, it's a White Swan event. And it's kind of brewing here, right? Like the debt thing scares me. Our economy's broken. It's broken, and that's why I make the bullish bets. That's why I bet on ordinals. It's so broken that it's going to take something that we haven't seen before to fix it, whenever they decide to fix it. So we talk about our now record $38.5 trillion in debt. And then we learn that Venezuela has $19 trillion worth of oil reserves, which we might just keep. All of a sudden, the debt issue, and I don't know, I'm talking out of my ass right here, but all of a sudden that debt issue may not be the same kind of issue. I don't know if we're keeping that oil. I'm sure Trump wants to, but potentially we've just gotten ourselves $20 trillion worth of oil. White swan event. That's what that could be. Fixing our national debt problem, whatever it looks like, if it's this or something else, or if it's, tremendous growth, whatever, that's a white swan event. That does something to this market that we've never seen. Never. By the way, I'll say this too. If we are out of the bull market, officially in a bear market, we've never had rate cuts in a bear market. Worth keeping in mind. I don't feel like we're getting a bear market this year. And then the AI thing. Oh shit, I didn't know. But the AI thing is getting really, really spicy. I'll just keep saying Gemini and Claude, and now all of a sudden ChatGPT feels like dated and irrelevant. And I know they're just going to leapfrog next, but it's getting really crazy. And I don't know if this is true. Sam Altman said AGI happens when an AI can make $1 billion on its own. Boy, if that happens, I know the red guy's saying, wait, Mike, is that this? Mike, what are you talking about? The oil thing or the AGI thing? Oh, he's talking Luna. Oh, lighter meme coin. Okay. If Sam Altman said that, well, TG is saying it happens on Solana. I think it's base. I think base is where it's possible. I do. I really do. And this just gets me excited about AI, which, by the way, right now, people are really, something's starting to click with AI. Like, look, we're really plugged into the AI stuff, and we're not, doesn't mean we're cutting edge of the AI, conversation, but we're there. We're up on it. Our fingers on the pulse of AI. So we get it. We've thought a lot about what does this economy look like, again, for me, 4 or 5 years out. But like normies are a little behind, and they're thinking and they're processing and they're catching up, and they're learning. People that are starting to realize what's coming. So AI takes over. This is on Reddit. Everyone's lost their job and only 10 trillionaires own anything. What now? They're really starting to think, what does this look like? What happens? What happens if nobody has a job, so there's nobody left to buy the things the trillionaires are producing? Like, what? It's broken at that point. What happens? And yes, I'm not convinced that AI replaces jobs. I'm on that side that AI just makes you more productive. You keep your job, you just get more done than ever. I'm there. But again, Gemini and Claude have me thinking, and I'm kind of waffling the past week or two. I'm like, dude, it might replace a lot of jobs. It might. I am shocked at how good it's gotten. And it's going to break. It's going to break. There's some good replies here too. It's going to break. Again, I'm not fully there. I don't think I'm even there at all that it replaces jobs, but it is going to some, I guess. But yeah, it'll accelerate the decline of the human labor value. No one's ready. Jobs still exist, but AI will execute on them. I'm pretty much there. But this might be an AI post. Kind of feels like it. Yeah, it is. God damn it. Got me. But I kind of agree here. In a mature stage of the post-scarcity society, and I'm going to stop right there. That's what's coming. Post-scarcity. Everybody has everything. This is not really fantasy. It's a little bit, but post-scarcity. And I come back to then, if nothing is scarce, if we have the resources we need, we have it. I go back to COVID when we had what we needed and we had just money to do whatever. We went to scarce stuff. And the only scarce stuff that's going to exist is, well, not the only, but man, in a way, stuff that's on the blockchain that you can prove it's scarce. I think the blockchain collectibles are going to get really silly. I think they're going to get really silly. I'm still saying 5 years out, 4 years out, 5 years out. Man, exciting stuff. White swan events. We'll see. All right, over to virtuals. Hang on. Let me see if my meeting's canceled today. Hang on. I think we're in the clear, man. Yeah. All right. We're in the clear. AI market cap 6.19 bill. So we're up with the rest of the market here. Good stuff. I can't wait to see token prices or market caps right now. Over on Agents Fartcoin, one of our leading indicators here, 387 mil, followed by Tibber, Toshi, Turbo, Rect. So familiar faces, but everything up. Wow. On infrastructure, virtual back over $1. Love that. 742 mil. It's followed by FET, DCAI, Pippin, and MWXT. And then in DeFi, Luna kind of did. DeFi, it's Venice, Cortex, Griffin, Olos, AI Tech. Mindshare, I'm very curious about. Mindshare, where you at? There we go. It's Warp, Elsa AI, Fartcoin, Virtual, and Opus. Oh, bummer, dude. Yeah, Virtual's interesting. I need to remind me to check Preddy. That's awesome news. But man, I saw this tweet. Somebody had retweeted this from months ago. This is everything empty from the Virtuals team. We have no intention to leak any value to any other entity. Virtuals is our life's work and legacy. This is them talking about, like, look, they're motivated to push their token price up to $10, $20, $40. Well, like, I instantly thought of the content stuff and how it always kind of, I didn't love that they wouldn't come and support the shows covering their ecosystem, but this applies very much to that. Getting them on a show is value. They don't want to just give it away. I get it. I get it. Again, why I associate this with content, I don't know, but it checks, it fits. They want that value themselves. If they're a draw, well, then they want the, they want the benefit of that. I get it. That's a good team, man. That's a good team. Over in the virtuals, and by the way, I haven't checked the launch board to see what's coming up. Hyperbet I know is coming. But any other new stuff that's coming, let's just peek, and then I want to look at the top movers. And I think we nailed the repo prediction too. I think it hit 50 mil. Robo Chatty. I probably need to deep dive some of these actually. Flip Royale. Prediction game. Okay. Most of these we know then. Yeah, okay, we know. By the way, I think we're going to get a flood of new launches here. So Hyperbet's still the big one. Probably not playing. I'm just going to be watching. This launches tomorrow. Right when our show starts, it looks like. So we'll cover that live tomorrow. So I love that. But let's look at the top movers because, man, I mean, you see right there, and we'll look a little closer. But Repo hit 40 mil. I think Repo hit 50 mil FDV. So Repo hit the target. We nailed that call. Repo to 50 mil, it hit. Reply, also all-time high, but the call was for that to be even higher. I think Reply is going higher. I would bet on it. I am betting on it. I've got Reply tokens, and I'm not selling. I'm trying to remember if I bought more. I did buy Reply. Yeah. Our top gainers. You know what? Let me go to. Trying to think how I want to sort. Do we want to do FDV? Yeah, we might as well just do that. AIXBT's at 43 mil. I'm wondering about that. Wild. Dude, the trenches are really, really alive again. It's wild. Rabita, great. Again, Repo's interesting. Okay, now that it hit 50 mil, I'm not sure what my prediction is. I need to see more from them. I don't want to say I think it's a $100 million token yet, although the chart looks pretty good, like pretty damn good. I don't think I'm ready to say I think Repo goes to 100, but it kind of seems likely. And we're talking FDV, by the way. So it's at 40 mil right now. I'm not going to math here, but I'm pretty sure it hit 50 plus mil. Might even been 60. I don't know about 60. But anyway, it hit where I thought. It definitely could go a lot higher. It definitely could. I'm not going to make that bet, though. I just am not yet, but it could. I would keep our eyes on Repo. But Reply is the one that I think is actually pretty interesting right now. They just have a really interesting InfoFi kind of game, mechanics. It's different. So the call for Reply was 10 to 15 mil. That's kind of the potential for Reply. I actually think it can go higher, but 10 to 15 mil. And hits an all-time high. Hit 7.2 mil right now. I think it's got a 2x in it. I'm not selling yet. So the virtual stuff looking pretty damn good right now. Game is down to 22 mil. Yeah, if the virtuals ecosystem gets very hot, game has got some legs. Some good coins here. Aristotle, interesting. VPay, I still think very interesting, but Mute Swap to me is like the dark horse. I still can't shake that Mute Swap could be very special. Right? Leaning into Monero, leans into the privacy stuff. Really bullish on that stuff this year. Doesn't matter the market conditions. I think the privacy stuff is, as of right now, our meta for this year. Mute Swap's very interesting. So I'm watching that. Again, I might be at the point now where I'm ready to start buying this stuff. I just want to see something else in the market that gives me like some confidence, more confidence. I don't have a ton yet. But again, I had enough to make some gambles, but this is, I don't know. Maybe right now is the time you buy and it is that gamble, but you take it now before the move happens. But Mut's high on that list. Man, Vader down to under 5 mil. Boy, things changed. And I don't know, things like Axelrod. I still think the day happens where DeFi does the thing, right? DeFi, like agents trade and make a ton of money. It hasn't happened. Yeah. No, that's it, J-Wise. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I guess to make that big money, you got to take that risk, right? And the other way to play it is how I usually do. It's I'll play when it's confirmed and it's easy mode, and I'll catch new launches and I'll play momentum, you know? So that's fine to do too, but often the biggest gains are when there's still a pretty big risk there. And that's right now. Boy, exciting stuff. What else happened? We had a couple other big happenings here. Strategy, yes, bought more Bitcoin over the past week. 108 mil. What else happened? Lighter, we know, launched that token last week. Jupiter team going to stop buybacks potentially, which is smart. Buybacks do not work. In fact, who said it? Somebody said it perfectly. I saw just over the weekend. Buybacks, it might have been Poppy that said it, said buybacks are an accelerant, but they're not like an igniter or something like that. It was basically saying buybacks are not sustainable. They can certainly accelerate things, but it's not sustainable. I don't love buybacks. I mean, they're fine, they work, but it's not buybacks are not a solution. How about that? Fogo canceling its ICO, and they're doing an airdrop. I know people like my older brother's been farming the Fogo airdrop. That's what is it? A Solana fork. There's Infinex news here. In fact, we might have some updates on that right now. This dude called this so long ago. It's a very obvious thing. Oh yeah, let me jump to Preddy. Hang on. And let's check what's the Preddy token at. Hang on. Let's just go on virtuals. All right, let's see. Preddy. Wow, dude. I don't know why I thought higher. I thought way high. Well, that's pretty sweet. I didn't know it fell that low to 1.5. Formula FTV. Interesting. Jeez. I mean, man, Preddy might have a ton of upside still. Yeah, Preddy might have a ton of upside. Wild. Okay. Luna, yes, dude. Yes, I saw somebody else diving into that this morning. Dude, you know what? I just haven't looked in a minute. I don't even know what the volume's like there now. So let's see. Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah. Dude, that looks great. Yeah, very organic. That's cool. Dude, good for them. Like those guys a lot. A lot. Great guys. That's awesome. Cato. Cato's going to be doing, their airdrop campaigns, right? The InfoFi airdrop stuff. They're going to start doing, look, Wallet DNA is on-chain reputation. What you're holding, how you hold, are you dumping your airdrops, right? I've been saying forever, the perfect version of InfoFi is paired with your on-chain reputation. Cato's now going in that direction. Right? Prove your on-chain holdings and reputation. That's how you fight bots. It's also how you curate better holders too. That's happening. Wild stuff. This is how everybody should be doing airdrops. It should go to quality traders. Like you should be able to sell too, but quality traders and holders. So Kato's going that direction, which is man, super, super, super cool. And then where is yeah, there was something with the Infinix here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. No more $2,500 cap, no more random allocations. Okay. I didn't know they were doing that before, but that's kind of crazy. Okay. Yeah, I mean, funny enough, this doesn't sound like a crazy change. It just sounds like they got it very wrong from the start. Yeah, wild. Wild. Um, and then man, we'll round it off with this. Some predictions from Yatsu and Gary V about I don't know if this is about games entirely. It could be. Why not use AI to its fullest, scanning addresses for Mike, dude, right? To me, it was just real obvious that that's where it needed to go and would go. And by the way, I know Ethos is doing a similar thing. They're going with like on-chain reputation too. So like that's where everything is going. And so I'm excited to see some people, man, partner with us and get Wallet DNA incorporated. And right, we did that with Arbus. So Arbus has it. But everybody should. All right, Yatsu, Gary V, 2026 predictions. Not some of these are on chain, like crypto predictions here, but GameFi destroyed. So that's pretty well done. But talking 2026 catalyst, GTA 6, there's still that rumor that's floating out there that they've got a crypto integration, right? Those like custom servers, the RP servers. I don't know. I don't know if that's actually going to happen. And if it does it move the needle? I mean, it could. Clarity Act could unlock institutional capital. Dude, they don't know. They don't know. Clarity Act is not going to pass. They don't. Worries me when there's people that maybe are at that level and a little unplugged. Clarity Act is probably not passing. But if it did, they're right. That would be a big unlock. Stablecoin integration, yes. Anti-cheat and fraud detection to kill bot farming, yeah. These are not crazy predictions. I'll tell you this. This one stood out. Mike, yes. Yes, we do, sir. This is wild to me because, okay, I know AR and VR really, really well. And I always say that the metaverse meta comes back when AR, VR is like much more mature. I've not seen a lot of other people like make that connection. It's not a crazy like connection too, right? Maybe everybody has that thought already, but I don't see it talked about much. And Gary's saying in 15 years, AR is about to eat up the oxygen in the room. Are we too early, too late? But if we define Web3 as VR, AR, and blockchain, that's what I'm most bullish on. He's really talking about, again, I think metaverse and NFTs really, really, really boom, both with the AI disruption, like jobs, but also AR, VR. I think those are two of the biggest things for NFTs. Like, I really believe you're going to have your glasses on and you'll change your clothing. You'll wear NFTs. You'll have your skins. You'll decorate your house. And they don't have to be NFTs, but a lot of them will. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love that they're really going hard in the metaverse. Somebody's got to be the face of the Web3, blockchain metaverse, and I'm glad it's Yuga Labs. And I'm not sold that they're going to pull it off, but I'm glad they picked that direction and are, doubling down. I like it a lot. But I don't know if this is 13 years off or if this is 5 years off. I kind of lean more towards 13 years. You know what I mean? Maybe right in the middle at 10, but I could be surprised. Maybe the tech grows really, really fast all of a sudden. But when that happens is when I'm most bullish on, I guess, like he's saying, all of Web3. It's a big, big component, and especially for metaverse. But NFTs are not. NFTs are not done. I think they're pretty awesome where they're at right now. Not a lot of believers left, and that's where you want. Hey, I mean, think of CryptoPunks in 2017, 2018, 2019. The believers believed they got it, they understood where it's going, and it took some years, and that's basically full circle. We're right back there, and I'm still there. In fact, what a great sign that you had so few believers back then. Now you have, 10,000 times more, but you still got, the millions and billions to go. Still crazy enough very early on in NFTs. Yeah, E-Rock. Yeah, dude. I love that. That's awesome. Need it, dude. Well, yep. Reputation is gonna be everywhere. It's gonna matter for everything. Oh, dude, I completely forgot. I mean, let me hit this. Hang on, real quick. Hang on. All right, I got a boogie. I'll just say puppets. I'll say puppets. All right, I gotta go. Apparently, the meeting's on. It's not on my calendar, but it's on. All right, guys. Apologies for the quick exit, but go to go to ethoswarm.ai. Sign up for the wait list. We'll see you back here tomorrow. All right. Goodbye, guys.